Here with Hhana Haro to preview the 2021 Concordia Softball season, and as we record this, a couple of weeks or so away from the first official games of the season. It's year 4 for you in the Concordia Softball program. First off, what have you found to be just most enjoyable about the experience here?
I think what I found just most enjoyable was kind of just traveling like with the team and like playing in different areas, especially because I mean I've always wanted to play college softball and like see different like parts of the country, I'd say. So like I think just being able to continue to play like at a high competition.
I want to go back to March last year a little bit too. Of course, you got the spring break trip into Florida. What do you remember about that trip and kind of that moment you realized that maybe the season might be over?
I think there was like a lot of question, especially about like what's going to happen next, because in Florida we did like very good. It like set out for just going to be a great season just as a team, so we were all like super excited. So once we found out that like we weren't going to compete, it was really sad, just especially because the seniors and stuff, but also just because like we worked so hard all year and now all of our efforts were kind of just being pushed to the side. I'd say.
Now it was that led into a much longer off season than anyone maybe would have wanted to have, but how did you kind of keep yourself occupied and ready to go when you got back this fall?
I think just realizing like, well, I think for me it's like it's my senior year, like I want to go out and I want to like show out basically, and I know like we have a good like core group, so we all had in our head like we want to go and we want to win, like it's our last year. I feel like at home it was like kind of just getting used to the school, but then once everything started getting closer, like we all started working out and everyone's just practicing on their own kind of.
As you mentioned, a really successful finish in Florida before that the season came to an abrupt end. What did that stretch though say about maybe the potential this team has?
I think I'd say just we were very strong mentally. I think we were going in, everybody was taking it game by game, and I think that was like the most important thing. And I just think the people we've added to our roster can't do anything but benefit us. And just as a whole, I think we all worked very good collectively. And as long as I say don't, like once we start getting into conference, don't play sort of like a name game, kind of like, oh, we know how they play. Like every team is every team, and in the end, it's like softball is just a game, I'd say. Sure.
There's several players on this team that you've been teammates with now for 2 or more years. Players like Tori Amolka, Camry Moore, Kylie Nixon, Janessa Jarvis, Alicia Thayer. How exciting is that just to have that continuity and know whatever each other is capable of?
Yeah, I think just all of us have a lot of trust in each other's capabilities, and especially on the offensive side, I have this mentality about like pass the bat. So if I know if I don't do it, I look at Tori and I'm like, okay, she's got my back, I trust she's gonna get the job done, and vice versa with everybody on the team. And that core is down to Alicia and Camry, because they're continuing to like work super hard in the circle, so we want to like support them. And I think just us, Kylie, Janessa, Alicia, all of us just work really good together because it's just been kind of like a core group. And so I just think we'll just continue to play good together. Yeah.
Considering what happened last year, what do you think that'll be like the first time that you're able to get back out in an official game? What do you think the emotions might be like?
I think with no matter what game, I feel like there's going to be nerves. I mean, I haven't played a game in like a year, so nobody has. So I think once we get over the first inning or the first at bat for me, like for myself personally, after I get over the first at bat, the first inning, then I'm like settling in, and I think our team does very good supporting each other in that it's just a game. And in the end, like, I got your back, you got my back. So I think we'll be good.
Now, you've been a first-team all-conference player twice. I'm sure it would have happened again last year. Didn't have all-conference teams because of what happened with the season. But what goals do you have for yourself this spring?
Personally, I think for myself, I mean, I just want to go out and just be a competitive player, and I think that that's led to like my success within the GPAC is just playing every at-bat, like, no matter what team it is, no matter if we're winning by a lot or losing by a lot, every game's the same, you know what I mean? And I think this year I'm kind of more focused on like team goals, like it's my last year, like I want us to get a conference title and see what we can do beyond there.
And I think we've talked about a little bit in the past about how you found out about Concordia and what brought you here, but can you kind of walk through that again? I believe a past graduate assistant coach was maybe one of the first people from Concordia that saw you play.
Yeah, so it was the past coach, the GA Tejas, and she was actually at my like travel ball games to see someone else that was on my team. And then her dad like saw me and was like, hey, like what about her? And her and my mom were just like talking, and we were very like similar, like her story and my story. And like by the end of it, like she's crying, my mom's crying, and I'm just like, like this almost felt like very family, like it was a good place to be at. And I knew I wanted to go out of state, so this just like gave me the opportunity.
How about being from California? Is there something about Nebraska or just this area of the country that you found maybe to not be true, or just something that surprises you?
I think when I first came here, maybe like the music and the people around, like I was just like, no way, like you guys listen to that? Like I just think the norms are very different or very stereotypical when you hear about like the country and the Midwest. But I also think just Concordia as a whole, like I think it's super cool that a lot of the students do come from like all over, kind of like the US. I mean, like we've even had like Canadians on our team and stuff. So I think it's cool. It's kind of like you learn a little bit about every single like region.
You mean you didn't like all of the country music and stuff like that? How about maybe there's a new favorite fast food place or restaurant? Is there anything you've discovered around here that you really like?
Let me think. Amigos. I mean, we don't have that where I'm from, so like that was pretty. I mean, I like Amigos. I don't know.
It's one of Seward's favorites, yeah. Right? I know. I think you had explained this too before, but most people don't spell Hannah with two H's at the beginning of it. Why does your name have two H's?
I think my mom so my mom's reasoning is that Aaron was spelled with two A's, so she's like, why can't Hannah be spelled with two H's? Like, I want you to be different, basically. And I remember at one point in my life, I was like, Mom, like, why did you, like, why? Because I would go to class and the teachers would mispronounce my name. But I feel like as time's gone on, like, I feel like that's a part of, like, who I am. Like, it's just different. So I like it, I guess.
And just quickly looking ahead, last thing to this season, preseason polls don't necessarily mean a lot, but I think a lot of people do expect this team to be pretty good, second place in the preseason poll. But where do you feel like things could go if things come together right for this team?
I honestly think we can stay at the top of our conference if everybody just dials in. I mean, I talked a lot about like the name game, and I feel like at times that kind of hurts us within a team, is worrying about who's on the other side and changing our game to match theirs. But I think if we continue to play our game and trust our practice and trust the work we put in, we basically just go out there and have fun. I mean, everybody's going to work hard and try hard and trust. And I think if everybody adapts and basically takes their role and plays their role, then I think we'll just be very successful.